So early in the morning, when Marvel allowed their tickets to be available online, I was there on their website. I got lucky, and there was only like probably two or three other people who had actually bought tickets before me. So I got some pretty nice middle seats, like perfect line, not too high up, not too low down, just the perfect seats. And on Friday, I went to go see it. Avengers Endgame, 11 years of Marvel movies, 19 movies before this, I think. Yes, 19 movies before this, all leading up and paying off in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And I had to re-watch it just to make sure I had everything I thought perfectly planned out. And I just went yesterday. I bought the tickets Saturday after I watched Endgame the first time. I bought tickets, and again, it seemed like it was going to be a pretty like it seemed I'd gotten pretty lucky. However, it was Tuesday, like 12 in the afternoon, or it was 12 noon, and it was, on a Tuesday, so people had school, some people had work and whatnot, and so there weren't that many like seats taken. There were only like 3 or 4 other seats taken before me, so I was like, all right, well, I get to choose whatever seats I want again. But when we went to the theater yesterday, it was actually pretty much sold out again, and I couldn't help but think I got lucky again. Wow! Just letting you guys know, if you want to go see it, plan for the afternoon, buy them like a few days in advance, and you'll be good. But now that I've seen it twice, I can finally talk about what I think Infinity War and Endgame mean for Marvel to come, and what it does right for the movies before. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers. No shit. I'm talking about Endgame. It's only been out for almost a week. A week technically in some places, but not all over. So yeah, just kind of bear with me. How does the homage to the older movies go? Well, it did a pretty decent job. First off, it pays off to pretty much all of it. Again, this is all spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, get out of here. If you're okay with spoilers, or you've already seen it, then hi, welcome. So yes, obviously we go back to the original movies. We see the Avengers lineup. We see Thor the Dark World. We see a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy. And then they go back to the 1940s, which wasn't really shown, but it does kind of hint to a lot of different things. In that Avengers scene, we get a throwback to Captain America Winter Soldier. In the time they go back to the 40s, we get another throwback to the Winter Soldier, where that bunker would be where S.H.I.E.L.D. was, and Arnim Zola's headquarters. Then, of course, we get some stuff over there in the Guardians of the Galaxy timeline and whatnot, and we see Vormir, the planet where Thanos went with Gamora and threw her down to get the Soul Stone. There's a lot of paying homage and actually like payoffs from other movies that are built up here. Like, for example, Tony meeting his dad. That was actually a really nice and touching scene. One thing me and my friend do kind of hate is that although they were building up to it, Hulk's transformation into Professor Hulk was done off screen. Yes, they had been building up to it from, pretty much the beginning. Incredible Hulk to Avengers to Age of Ultron to Thor Ragnarok and then Infinity War. Especially Ragnarok, Infinity War, and this movie were the arc for Hulk that was supposed to be his 3-part movie series, but it just felt kind of forced. It's like, oh hey, we need Professor Hulk in this. How are we gonna get him in there? It's been 5 years. Why not just make it Professor Hulk? It just felt a little off. I want that information. I want to see that combination of them together becoming Professor Hulk. It's awesome. So yeah, it does a good job at portraying the old movies, and it does a really good job at paying all those movies off. We see Tony Stark talking about how he's been plagued with this knowledge for so many years. We saw that in Infinity War, but this time it's eating him because now he has a daughter and he's married to Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper, And he doesn't want to lose that, but at the same time, he's still a hero and he wants to be rid of this curse that he's been holding on to. And yes, that fateful scene where he does sacrifice himself to snap away Thanos and his group does actually kill him, and that was really harsh. I cried the first time I saw that, and then the second time I cried during his burial, or his memorial, whatever. I cried. I'm weak, whatever. And when Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow, died, I was crying the first time. The second time, I was a little weepy, but no tears. And yes, they killed Black Widow. They killed her, just straight up. Like, you could kind of see it if you pay attention to all of her showings in Iron Man 2, Captain America 2, not really Iron Man 3, Avengers and Civil War and Infinity War. It does seem like she has this disconnect. She loves these people. She loves them like family, but at the same time, she hasn't really proved herself, at least in her mind. And so she wants to be able to do something right. And that is pretty much the whole premise of Endgame. They messed up. They lost. Everyone lost. Half of the universe is gone. And the Avengers feel like nothing. Iron Man, he lost without Captain America, his supposed best friend. Captain America lost, and now his friend doesn't want to talk to him. Black Widow, she just feels out of her element, and she lost so many people, and she feels like it's her fault for not being better, for not being stronger. And then Hawkeye, of course, he has tremendous guilt. His entire family went away, and he wasn't even a part of the fight to try and save them. Obviously, if he were there, not much would change. Obviously. But he still feels like, I should have been there. I should have lost with them. Instead, I was there with my family, and they are gone now. And he goes off and starts killing the people that should have been snapped away, but weren't. The drug dealers, the Yakuza, all of them. He goes off on a murder spree, and he becomes something he doesn't want to be. Everyone in this movie has tremendous guilt. Thor should have gone for the head. He knew that. He knows that now. He chopped off his head and he said, I went for the head, but it doesn't do anything. It sucks. It sucks for them. And that is the whole point of Endgame. It's their Endgame is their revitalization. It's their chance to prove that they are worthy, that they are the heroes that we need and want. And that is the whole point of Endgame. Thor gets to show that he is still worthy when he calls Mjolnir and takes it to the future and fights with it. Then we see Captain America. He's fighting alongside them, trying to prove that, hey, we aren't just gonna give up. We have to win this. We have to bring everyone back. Iron Man takes a huge risk and leaves his family and says, I'm gonna fight with you guys because you guys would fight with me. In the end, he does have to give himself up. He does have to do the biggest sacrifice, but that is the only way that they would win. Even Captain Marvel comes in and she gets beat. Like, she's whooping his butt. Then he reaches over, grabs the Power Stone and smacks her into next week. Not literally. Even with all 5 stones, he was getting defeated, but he still whooped her by just outsmarting her, really. But she is really strong. She is obviously the most powerful one in this MCU. It's just that she got cocky. She got cocky and Thanos slapped her. Iron Man was the one that had to do it. He had to go over, steal the stones, and then snap. If anyone else had done it, I don't think it would have worked as well. Not to mention, it wouldn't have had the emotional impact it did. Over here, we've been watching Iron Man since 2008. Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man. He's been in all of those movies. He's been in so many movies of the MCU that he is definitely the godfather of the MCU. And seeing him sacrifice himself, It's hard. It's hard. It was really hard. But it makes perfect sense. My cousin says she hates the movie because of that. But, well, that means it did its job. It did its job. It was a great sacrifice. And it hurt her. It hurt me. It hurt. There are a few things I would like to nitpick because it's not a perfect movie, obviously. A lot of people actually said it was just meh. I think it was great, but there are some things I'd like to nitpick. First of all, Captain America going back in time. A lot of people will be nitpicking that, but I think it makes sense. As long as he didn't tell anyone, and he could have just made up a new name, as long as Peggy didn't tell anyone, they'd be fine. And I'm pretty sure in, I think it was Captain America 2, when we saw Peggy as an older lady, I'm pretty sure she was married at one point. They never said to who, I'm pretty sure. I could look that up later, but I think that's right. But yeah, it's not that big of a difference, honestly. It's really not. People are just blowing it out of proportion because, oh, everything's not going to make sense because this. They're looking for things to nitpick. I'm not looking for things to nitpick. I'm finding the things that I don't like. First of all, again, the Professor Hulk. I would have loved to see that on screen. I would have loved to see that transformation on screen. However, I'm okay with that since it is a 5-year skip. It is alright and it's acceptable. You can't really cover everything in that time frame. Captain Marvel was used sparingly but perfectly. If she had been there the entire movie, everything would have been a little OP. It's good when she entered the fight. That was a good point for her to enter the fight. It would have made more sense for her to be there the entire time, but this way it's more narrative and more it's more epic when she shows up. Like, holy crap, she takes out the entire ship. That's awesome. Of course, the time travel stuff does get a little wonky. A lot of people said they had trouble following it, but it was actually pretty simple. Some people are trying to find nitpicks in there, like I've been trying to say. But when you're dealing with time travel, really anything goes. Anything goes from a narrative point. You just have to stick by your guns. You have to make set rules and follow those rules. They set rules and they follow the rules. Their past is always going to be their past. Their future is, as soon as they go to the past, that future is now their past. It makes sense. People are just not thinking about it properly. Another thing, Gamora's sacrifice and Black Widow's sacrifice. People think because they went back in time and Black Widow sacrificed herself for the stone, Gamora should be alive. No. And since Captain America went back and put the Soul Stone back, Black Widow should be back. No. Red Skull himself says it is an eternal payment. It is an eternal bond. That means no matter what, those payments have been made. Think of it more like a video game or a movie. You've already watched it. You've already played it. You cannot return it for the full amount. You can only get a certain amount. Therefore, in the same example as Gamora and Black Widow, they have used the stone. To give back the stone and get the person back is unfair. That is an unfair trade. You sacrificed a life, got the Soul Stone, then use the power of an Infinity Stone. You cannot equal that power. Even if you sacrifice multiple lives, you cannot get that soul back because you have used your Infinity Stone. Then the thing that bothers me the most. What's up with Spider-Man? What's up with Spider-Man Far From Home? Why is everyone the same age? Did they all get snapped? I mean, sure, it's possible. Highly unlikely it was all of them. Ned, Flash, that blonde girl that Ned talks to, MJ. All of them got snapped. And then Peter as well. None of them are aged. If this is supposed to be 5 years in the future and Spider-Man Far From Home is supposed to take place minutes after Infinity War, either they all got snapped or they just forgot about that and decided to just sweep it under the rug. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't just sweep it under the rug. I'm sure they all got snapped, but still, I hope to see one or two of the other characters that were background characters at least show up in Far From Home 5 years older because they're in high school. They were in high school in Homecoming. That means they're 15, 16, 17. 5 years later, they'd be 20, 21, 22. I want to see that. I want to see at least 2 of the characters older and out of school, aged up. Kind of like how we saw Cassie. All in all, I really loved Avengers Endgame. It was really good. It was perfect. It was a great way to end Phase 3 and the first arc of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot of people are saying that this is the end. My cousin says that, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know a lot of comics, and she doesn't know what's been announced. Black Panther 2 is confirmed. Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out. Doctor Strange should be having his own movie. Of course, there's also the Disney Plus stuff with, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Black Widow show, and a Loki show. But of course, Loki and Black Widow are dead. Like, Loki did not come back. He got his neck snapped. Black Widow got sacrificed. She's not alive. She's not here. And then Falcon became Captain America, which I love that how that happened. We now have old Steve Rogers, who I hope becomes Captain Steve Rogers and joins S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, we have Sam Wilson as Falcon Captain America. I love it. I love it. I really hope they don't go with the route of the comics, though, where Captain America gets younger and then becomes, Steve Rogers becomes younger and then regains the Captain America title. So we have 2 Captain Americas. That was kind of annoying. I really hated that. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Please, just keep Steve old or keep him out if necessary. But keep Sam Wilson as Captain America. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. But yeah, we've got a bunch of shows coming on Disney Plus and a few other things announced, and they've said that some of them are prequels. The Black Widow one is a prequel. It's not going to be a sequel. She's dead. Makes sense. But yeah, this is not the end. There's a bunch of other things coming, and I just hope Black Knight is a part of that somewhere. I'm sorry. I just really love the Black Knight. Like, I was so excited to see him in the Endgame, and nothing, nada. But, Valkyrie has a Pegasus. In the comics, Valkyrie gets that Pegasus from the Black Knight when he is turned to stone. Where did she get that Pegasus? I'm pretty sure there are no Pegasi left. Like, yes, they had them when they were fighting Hela, but that was eons ago. And, well, Hela killed everyone, so what are the odds that she wouldn't kill all the Pegasuses? No, I settled that in the Black Knight video. It's Pegasus. That is the plural of Pegasus. So, yes, I'm excited. Obviously, that's probably not what they're going to do, but as someone who reads the comics, I can be hopeful. So have you guys seen Avengers Endgame? What do you guys think? And what do you guys think of the entire Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I personally give Phase 1 all around, so that's Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, Iron Man 2, and Thor 1, as well as the Avengers. I give that an 8.5. Then the second phase, including Iron Man 3, Captain America 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor 2, and then Avengers Age of Ultron, I give that an 8. Then Phase 3, including all of those movies, Captain America 3, Thor 3, Guardians 2, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame, I give that a 9. Because there were a lot of good movies in that one. However, out of those, definitely Phase 2 was the most lacking. Phase 3 was the one that brought it back up. What do you guys think, though? What is your rating system? What do you guys feel about? And how did you guys like the movie? And if you haven't seen it, well, why the hell did you watch this video? I ruined everything pretty much. Except for Fat Thor. Wait, I just spoiled that. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Jay Hikari, logging out.